Here's something that I did on my path to positivity that you might be able to do. If you've ever had a near death experience or something where you could have altered your life terribly, where if you didn't die, it would have left you really bad, and maybe even you wish you would have died or been dead at that moment, write it down. I remember I wrote it down on an index card. Now, I wrote it down as I almost died that day. I don't ultimately think I would have died on that day, but it would have altered my life physically to the point where it would have been really hard to function in life. So that day I wrote it down on an index card because I was well on my journey to being more positive. So that's where I got the idea. Now, when I think back, and I came across an index card because I wrote an index card, that's what I do, and along with other positive affirmations. So thinking about that card and thinking about a video, I thought about there's been other times where I could possibly have died if things just changed a little bit. Car accidents, just ultimately some bad situations that I've been in my life, where if one person made a decision, it could have altered my life forever. Now, at that time, I didn't care about living or dying. I was, young and I was crazy and, I didn't care about anything. But now that I have a family, I think about that stuff. So since I had a family, only one thing has happened to me where it could have changed my life forever, where maybe I couldn't perform as the father for my children and be as physical, with them, where I can actually do stuff. It could have altered me greatly, if not killed me. But that's something. If you ever had an incident, think about it, because most of us don't think about it. I don't think about all the crazy things that's happened in my life, growing up and living as wild as I lived. I don't think about it because I never cared. Once I had a family, I think about those little things. So I came across that index card as I'm thumbing through, and I wrote down the date because when it happened at that time, that's what made me think about it. Wow, that was a close call. And to get even deeper into faith, it helped me with my journey to God, because at the last moment when I was going to do something, I'm telling you, I swear by it, a voice came to me and talked to me and said, double check that. And I double checked what I was working on, and it was live. The voltage was live, and I thought that I disconnected it. I disconnected the wrong thing. I took the fuses out, something wrong. It was a large machine, and I almost physically touched it. And it could have been really bad. Who knows what could have happened? I could have lost my fingers, my hand, my life, my vision. Who knows? Because I was very close to it. And so I wrote it down that day because that's the impact that happened. And I owed it to God. It wasn't me. I don't know where the voice came from. It wasn't me. I wasn't critically thinking I was going to work on this item. I was going to do, hands-on work. So it wasn't me. I was critically thinking about, unscrewing stuff and, dismantling something that was still live that I would have literally touched with my hands. So what was that voice? I say it was God. He saved my life that day. And there's little things that we brush off. So if you ever had an encounter, think back, because I think about that, especially when I come across that index card, which I look at mine often, and it makes me think about those things. So as I'm making this video, I'm literally picturing it and thinking about it. So that's why I'm looking off and looking down. And maybe it's a little longer than it should have been. But yeah, it's little things like that. Have a good night. Peace, love, and life.